In Ezra chapter 1, we witness the fulfillment of God's promise as Cyrus, the king of Persia, is divinely moved to issue a proclamation throughout his kingdom. This decree not only acknowledges the sovereignty of the God of Israel but also permits the Jewish people to return to Jerusalem to rebuild the temple. Cyrus declares that the Lord has appointed him to undertake this task and instructs those among the Israelites who are willing to do so to contribute both resources and manpower for the reconstruction efforts. The decree of Cyrus prompts a stirring response among the Jewish exiles. Led by Zerubbabel, Jeshua, and other influential leaders, they prepare to return to their homeland with great enthusiasm. Moreover, Cyrus returns the articles of the temple that were plundered by Nebuchadnezzar, further demonstrating his support for the restoration of the Jewish religious center. This act of returning the sacred vessels signifies not only the physical restoration of the temple but also the spiritual renewal of the covenant between God and his people. The Jewish exiles, supported by divine favor and of Cyrus, set out on their journey back to Jerusalem. As they return to their ancestral land, they carry with them the hope of rebuilding the temple and reviving the worship of their God. The hand of the Lord is evident throughout this chapter, orchestrating events to fulfill his promises and to bring about the restoration of his people in their place of worship. Ezra chapter 1 serves as a testament to the sovereignty of God and his faithfulness to his people, even in times of exile and restoration. It marks the beginning of a new chapter in the history of Israel, as the exiles are granted the opportunity to return to their land and rebuild their religious institutions. Through the decree of Cyrus and the response of the Jewish exiles, we witness the unfolding of God's plan to redeem his people and restore them to himself. Let's now read Ezra chapter 1. Now in the first year of Cyrus king of Persia, that the word of the Lord by the mouth of Jeremiah might be fulfilled, the Lord stirred up the spirit of Cyrus king of Persia, that he made a proclamation throughout all his kingdom, and put it also in writing, saying, Thus saith Cyrus king of Persia, The Lord God of heaven hath given me all the kingdoms of the earth, and he hath charged me to build him an house at Jerusalem, which is in Judah. Who is there among you of all his people? His God be with him, and let him go up to Jerusalem, which is in Judah, and build the house of the Lord God of Israel, he is the God, which is in Jerusalem. And whosoever remaineth in any place where he sojourneth, let the men of his place help him with silver, and with gold, and with goods, and with beasts, beside the freewill offering for the house of God that is in Jerusalem. Then rose up the chief of the fathers of Judah and Benjamin, and the priests, and the Levites, with all them whose spirit God had raised, to go up to build the house of the Lord which is in Jerusalem. And all they that were about them strengthened their hands with vessels of silver, with gold, with goods, and with beasts, and with precious things, beside all that was willingly offered. Also Cyrus the king brought forth the vessels of the house of the Lord, which Nebuchadnezzar had brought forth out of Jerusalem, and had put them in the house of his gods. Even those did Cyrus king of Persia bring forth by the hand of Mithridath the treasurer, and numbered them unto Sheshbazzar, the prince of Judah. And this is the number of them, 30 chargers of gold, 1,000 chargers of silver, 29 knives. 30 basins of gold, silver basins of a second sort 410, and other vessels 1,000. All the vessels of gold and of silver were 5,400. All these did Sheshbazzar bring up with them of the captivity that were brought up from Babylon unto Jerusalem. This ends our reading of Ezra chapter 1.